Nyinyi wabunge muongee huko, mkule pesa, mtarudi hapa. Na maneno itakuwa kali. Unajua ile kitu tumepata hasara kubwa sana. Ile hasara tumepata kubwa sana, Archbishop, is the quality of leaders ambayo tulipeleka Senate and National Assembly. Huyu mzee anaitwa Raila Odinga. He has never been president, but he is in every government because of the quality of leaders anapeleka parliament and Senate. Sisi tunaenda tunaokota anything. Tukipewa pesa kidogo, sionekanangi, mnapea yeye Senate. Sasa mkifika pale, mnapata quality ya leaders iko chini, si ndio? Sasa mwaka ujao wa 2027 tutaweka darubini. Tunakagua wewe kabisa. Babako ni nani? Mamako ni nani? Anaendaga kanisa ama aendi? Ameshaiba kalamu ya mtu akiwa standard 4 ama bado? Wewe unaweza uza jamii ama uwezi uza jamii? Kwa sababu ile shida tumepata ni viongozi kuuza sisi kama jamii. Wakatusaliti, wakakula pesa, wakauza jamii. Ndio tumepata ile shida tuko nayo kama watu ya mlima. Kwa hivyo going forward, Mzee Kiraito, we want caliber of leaders who shall be elected in this region to be tested, proven patriots who cannot sell the community for their own stomachs. Kwa sababu hapo ndio tumepata shida. Na hiyo tutapangana na wananchi hawa, wanajua nyinyi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MJR YouTube channel for today's political analysis. And in today's political analysis, allow me to talk about the geopolitics. And in Kenya here, I have three tribes or regions which have more or less the same style of politics. And that is Mt.Kenya region, which mostly is dominated by Kikuyu subtribe. We also have the Nyanza region, and that is to say the Luo part of it. We have the Rift Valley, the Kalenjin part. Those three tribes have some certain style of leadership, and their leadership, politically speaking, revolve around an individual. And this individual can be either self-declared kingpin or spokesperson, or this person can be installed by the council of elders to be the tribe's spokesperson and be the political leader of that region to give direction. So we've been practicing this since pre-colonial period and after the multi-party democracy up to now. But this kind of politics have consequences in our regions and in our country at large. If you look at it regionally, 2022 Mt.Kenya was highly messed region, politically speaking.
Asante. Na kwa hivyo ni tu maendeleo ya Kenya ni tu barabara za Meru ni tu afya ya Wameru ni tu viwanja vya Meru ni tu Mheshimiwa Ali ni tu Seneta Kadhuri Moronge ni tu.
And it was messed this way. Since the previous kingpin, Uhuru Kenyatta, had a choice of a candidate, presidential candidate, which Mt.Kenya had some historical problem with him. So they opted to follow another self-made kingpin or spokesperson. And because this person had another better option to them then than the choice which their previous political leader had shown them. So they opted to leave Uhuru Kenyatta and to follow Rigathe Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro, Kimani Ichung'wah, Anne Waiguru, and JB Muturi. Then 3 years later, they are now lamenting, including the self-proclaimed kingpins. The self-proclaimed kingpin Rigathe Gachagua is a victim of his own circumstances. He made the leaders who later on impeached him. And these are not my words. These words are backed up by Rigathe Gachagua's sentiments himself. There was a day, and that clip I played for you in this channel, where Rigathe Gachagua was lamenting about the quality of leaders Mt.Kenya has been sending into the National Assembly and the Senate, as compared to the ones Nyanza region has been sending into leadership. And he said that the reason why Raila Odinga keeps on enjoying the fruits of every government is because of the quality leaders whom he has been pushing for. And that one has enabled him to make his way into every government, because they know how to execute their roles and to push for their agendas. So in 2022, UDA was the dominant party in Mount Kenya. And provided you had the ticket for UDA, your election was imminent. Your winning was instant. There was no doubt about that. But now, what are the consequences? They don't want to see these leaders again. Which means, if Rigathe Gachagua again gives them another crop of leaders, they are just going to elect them without questioning their credentials. They are going to elect them without questioning their integrity. They are going to vote to them without interrogating these leaders about their academic qualification. They are going to vote provided you have a party ticket which Rigathe Gachagua prefers. It happens in Luo Nyanza. It happens in Rift Valley, where Ruto will dictate. That is where the windmill will move towards. So this has messed even at the national stage, because these are major regions which also contributes to the national politics. If you want peace nationally, these regions must have peace first. If Mount Kenya is not peaceful, Kenya cannot be peaceful. If Nyanza is not peaceful, Kenya cannot be peaceful. If Rift Valley is in mess up, Kenya cannot be stable. And therefore, any mistake in these regions mess the national politics. We have all these mess ups because we messed with one region. And that region was Mount Kenya. Give or take, agree or disagree with me, that is the state of politics now. Because Mount Kenyan doesn't want to see, the Mount Kenyan constituents doesn't want to see their leaders eye to eye. They are no longer proud of their leaders. And the leaders also vice versa. They cannot face their electorates because they are not confident of themselves and of the leadership they have offered so far. So good. If we had leaders of integrity from all the regions, we would have constituted a national assembly which is purged with men and women who can exercise their mandate according to the rule of law and as by the dictates of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, not being coerced by the so-called kingpins or the party leaders. They are doing so because they are doing the biddings of these party leaders to secure their positions in the future elections. So Kenyans cannot get what they send these people to give them. They cannot deliver to the people what they promised, because once you reach at the national stage, you have now to do the biddings of your what? Party leader or your ethnic warlord or kingpin. So right now, we are going to repeat the same mistakes. The slogans that the Gen Zs came up with, the partyless, the tribeless, what they want was just the service delivery. It's neither here nor there, because the process was long hijacked by the same people who have been choreographing, who are the architecture of the current political system in this country, which has messed this country historically. Let me take you region by region, the three of them. Ever since the multi-party democracy, Mt.Kenya have always followed one leader. Leave alone this small disagreement that they have back home. We know that since 1992, Mt.Kenya used to vote in favor of Kenneth Njindo Matiba. Leave alone those small votes that Moi used to get. Whether they were cooked or not, we don't know. But their hearts were behind Kenneth Njindo Matiba. When Kenneth hung his boots, Mwai Kibaki took over until he became the president. When Mwai Kibaki retired, he handed it over back to Uhuru Kenyatta. And from Uhuru Kenyatta, it was grabbed. He never handed it over. It was grabbed from him. And those who grabbed it were the likes of Rigathe Gachagua, and people followed him. They voted in the direction they dictated. Whether they were declared by Council of Elders to be the political leaders or kingpins, that is neither here nor there. But people followed what they said. Go to Luo Nyanza. It was the Odinga's family ever since the beginning of time. Go to Rift Valley. It was Moi, then William Ruto grabbed it from the house of Moi. And therefore, that is the pattern of politics in those three regions. And those kind of leadership has been transferred into the national stage. So, look, people have started now to arrange themselves according to the dictates of the party leaders or the kingpins of the various tribes. So, the other parts of the country which I've not mentioned, I've left them for a reason. Because if you look at Western Kenya, they are more democratic. If you go to coast, they are democratic. If you come to Nairobi, it's democratic. If you go to these other parts, you will find that they know how to balance their votes. So I was only interested in these three regions which have more or less the same style of leadership. Thank you, and may God bless you.